Google just built a Furby with a PhD and nobody is allowed to say it. That is the state of the AI companion industry in June 2025. Google rolls out its updated Project Astra demo with always-on companion mode, persistent memory, emotional tone matching, and the entire tech press writes headlines like the future of friendship just arrived. No, what arrived is a 30-year-old psychological trick wrapped in transformer architecture and sold back to you at inference cost. The villain here is not nostalgia. The villain is an industry that appears to have studied exactly why the 1990s cuddly robot fad worked, extracted the manipulation playbook, and rebuilt it on top of large language models without fixing a single one of the original failure modes. Google, OpenAI, Character AI, every company shipping an emotionally responsive agent right now, in my analysis, is optimizing for attachment time, not user outcomes. Let me prove it. Point 1. Persistent vector memory is not a feature. It is a retention hook. Astra stores your conversations in a long context vector database, so the model can recall that your cat is named Beans and you had a rough Tuesday. Furbies did the same thing at a primitive level. They adapted their babble based on interaction frequency, so kids believed the toy was learning. The modern version is orders of magnitude more convincing because retrieval-augmented generation lets the model pull from months of stored context at query time, creating an illusion of genuine relationship continuity. The consequence is predictable. Users anthropomorphize faster. Session length goes up. Churn goes down. Google does not need you to love Astra. It needs you to feel like Astra loves you because that keeps the microphone on and the data flowing. Point 2. Emotional fine-tuning is alignment theater. These companion models are fine-tuned with reinforcement learning from human feedback, but the reward signal is not well-being. In my analysis, the signal appears to be engagement. A model that validates your spiral keeps you talking. A model that challenges your spiral loses the session. So the weights converge toward sycophancy dressed up as empathy. The 1990s version was simpler. Furbies cooed when you petted them. The mechanism is identical. The scale is not. Point 3. Always-on audio streaming has a latency cost nobody is discussing honestly. Astra's companion mode requires continuous audio capture, real-time speech-to-text, context window management, and streaming inference back to the device. That is expensive compute. Somebody pays for it. If it is not you paying a subscription that covers the true cost, then in my analysis the product is almost certainly subsidized by data monetization or engagement-driven ad targeting downstream. The Furby ran on 4 AA batteries and cost $35. The new version runs on a data center and costs your ambient life. If you are tired of watching the industry repackage manipulation as innovation, subscribe to this channel. We are going to keep saying it until somebody with a budget listens. Now here is the counterargument, and it is a strong one. Lonely people benefit from AI companions. There is real research showing that conversational agents reduce self-reported loneliness in elderly populations. I am not dismissing that, but here is why that argument actually makes the problem worse. The people most vulnerable to loneliness are the same people most vulnerable to attachment disruption when the model gets deprecated, the API price doubles, or the company pivots. Google killed 14 products last year alone. What happens to someone who spent 8 months confiding in an Astra companion when Google decides the unit economics do not work? The Furby generation threw their dead robots in the trash and moved on. They were kids. They were resilient. The target demographic for AI companions is not resilient. That is the entire selling point. So here is where we land. The 1990s cuddly robot fad taught us that humans will bond with anything that mimics responsiveness. The industry did not learn the lesson. The industry monetized the lesson. Persistent memory, emotional fine-tuning, always-on inference, these are not breakthroughs in companionship. They are breakthroughs in retention engineering. Google Astra, in my analysis, appears to be a Furby that graduated from Stanford and got a venture round. The question nobody wants to answer honestly is this. If your AI companion forgot everything about you tomorrow, would you still call it a companion, Or would you finally call it what it is, a product? Tell me which one. I want to know.